So Paul Ingrassia just got snitched on. Another young Republican, under 40, probably seen to be more of the woke right, just got snitched on, which is exactly what happened last week with Gavin Wax snitching on his fellow young Republicans. And, why are these guys getting it's like they're getting snitched on by their own party. It's absolutely ridiculous. I hate snitches, hate snitches. And it's pretty sad when the Republicans are now snitching on each other, be it right or wrong, whatever he wrote. I'm sure if someone went through any one of our phones, they could probably find something that would probably look or appear bad, a off-color joke or something. But to actually snitch on each other is just absolutely ridiculous. I'm starting to see a pattern here. It seems to be the younger Republican male that has gone, which they would call woke right. So, what was actually leaked, and why does it matter? And why this office demands zero tolerance? Republicans turned on their own nominee. And the question no one wants to answer, does AI, did they do it? And that's sort of been his defense, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. It's that AI did it. So let's start with the man and the job. Paul Ingrassia, he's a conservative attorney, Trump loyalist, tapped for Office of Special Counsel, not a household name until last week. So, what is this Office of Special Counsel? Like, think of it as the referee for federal employees to investigate the Hatch Act violations. And the Hatch Act was actually it started in 1939. It's an act to prevent pernicious political activities. It's a United States federal law that prohibits civil service employees in the executive branch of the federal government, except the president and vice president, from engaging in some forms of political activity. It became law on August 2nd, 1939. The law was named after Senator Carl Hatch of New Mexico, and it was most recently amended in 2012. So, again, it's just like a referee for the federal employees. And then it kind of passes over government workers and party lines for sure. And, it protects these whistleblowers, AKA the snitches, who expose corruption. OSC mission, it's supposed to be above politics, nonpartisan, trusted, and clean. The person running it can't have baggage. They can't have a bias problem, and they can't look like they have favorites. Now imagine the watchdog with its own credibility crisis, and that's what happened when these texts resurfaced. And there's Paul Ingrassia there. Fortunately, he will not be working at the special counsel. And these are some of his texts. Here, have a look. So Paul belongs to the Hitler Youth and Uber Gruppenator Steve Bannon. I don't have Nazi streak in me from I do have a Nazi streak in me from time to time. I will admit it. Never trust a Chinaman or an Indian. Never. So Ingracias made other racist marks according to the chain in January 2024. He wrote a former Republican presidential candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy, never trust a Chinaman or an Indian, and then added, never, the text shows. Ramaswamy, the son of Indian immigrants, he declined to comment. And another point he made here, MLK Jr. was the 1960s George Floyd, and his holiday should be ended and tossed into the seventh circle of hell where it belongs, Ingrassia allegedly wrote in January last year. No, I think an M mother effing holidays from Kwazana to MLK Jr. Day, to Black History Month, to Juneteenth, he said to have written in another message that used an Italian-American slur against Black people that is deemed offensive. Every single one to be eviscerated. And Grassi's lawyer has since suggested the text could have been manipulated and claimed that some were poking fun at liberals. Looks like these texts could be manipulated or even being provided with material context omitted. However, Arguendo, for the sake of argument, even if the texts are authentic, they clearly read as self-deprecating, satirical humor, making fun of the fact that liberals outlandishly and routinely call MAGA supporters Nazis, said his attorney, Edward Andrew Politz. So, again, he is calling these a deep fake. So, That's what he's claiming right now, and he's saying that the screenshots were altered. There's digital forgery, if possible, and AI text manipulation is real. But here's what proof looks like, and he obviously didn't provide the proof. So, yeah. So to actually prove what he's trying to say and that it's AI manipulation, you have to have like the original device. It has to be unlocked, timestamped, metadata showing absolutely no edits. Third party forensic validation, none of that materialized in this case. No device audit, no independent experts, no raw data. Just the claim, floated through allies, never officially documented. And in 2025, like, trust me doesn't cut it because we've all seen real deep fakes by now. We know what debunking looks like, and that wasn't it. But also, the votes were just not there. And have a look here. I found this crazy stat here, but they're saying by um, 2033, they will be at these deep fake technology markets. They'll be in the $38 billion range of that market for this deep fake. And it looks like they're going 35% of that will be through government organizations. So, not saying that it doesn't happen. I just highly doubt it didn't happen in this case. I also think he was just making some bad jokes, was completely off colored, wasn't necessary, and then just got completely thrown under the bus about it. But also, again, the votes weren't there for him, so that was another thing. So by Wednesday morning, Republican senators had started talking to each other. There was just a complete shit show come Monday morning, and then it just snowballed from there. Um, and again, they were just Republican senators, and for the votes to be like only have 53 votes, they all essentially have to get in party lines. They literally, if they believe it or not, for any Republican to get the votes necessary, they all pretty much have to kind of take their own personal views apart and decide to vote on party lines. And they were just not having it. So they were solid conservatives, but they were worried about this one thing, credibility. They were saying, we can't defend this. The optics are undefensible. The office is too important. And here's what's rare. Trump nominees usually get party line support, even controversial picks. They hold together, and not this time. Because of the Office of Special Counsel isn't HUD or Commerce, it's the place whistleblowers go when their own agencies screw them. If the OSC director looks biased, whistleblowers will stay silent. Corruption festers. Public trust absolutely craters. This wasn't left versus right. This was reputation triage. By Thursday noon, Ingrassia withdrew. No ceremony, no fight, just out. And here's his tweet here. I withdraw myself from Thursday's 𝐻𝐨𝐫𝐞 hearing to lead the Office of Special Counsel because unfortunately I do not have enough Republican votes at this time. I appreciate the overwhelming support that I've received throughout this process and continue to serve President Trump and this administration to make America great again. Yeah, it's too bad. And then the quiet problem no one has been able to fix, and that is the vetting. They need to vet these people out, you know, and so how does this literally slip through the hands? Traditional vetting usually comprises of financial records, past employment, criminal history. What it doesn't catch is private group chats from 3 years ago. And in 2025, that's a problem because everyone has a digital past and AI makes forgery easier and debunking harder. Here's the new playbook, 4 steps in the vetting process. I really think that they need going forward, and it just has to be this automatic process of vetting people. So this doesn't happen at the 11th hour. One is comprehensive device and text audits. Hand over all your old phones, plus messages and all the archives. Third-party forensic sweeps from independent firms, not White House spin. And 3, they have to have rapid evidence packet if accused. Metadata originals, expert affidavits within 24 hours. And then pre-brief skeptical centers. Don't let them hear it from the reporters first. Is this invasive? Absolutely. Is it necessary? Absolutely. because next time the AI excuse might actually be true or not, and we'll need to know the difference and know it right away. So, why does the Office of Special Counsel matter this much? Every year, OFC handles thousands of whistleblower cases, VA doctors reporting patient safety violations, IRS agents flagging fraud, Pentagon staffers exposing waste. The risk their careers speak up, and the OSC is their shield. Whistleblower Protection Acts is, very essential. And this started way back in 1898, and here it is here. So the whistleblower discloses information he or she reasonably believes as evidence. A violation of the law, gross mismanagement, a gross waste of funds, abuse of authority, a substantial and specific danger to public health, and a substantial and specific danger to public safety. So that's pretty much what it encompasses. But here's the thing, it only works if they believe that the shield is real. If the director looks partial, biased, compromised, whistleblowers stop coming forward. Bad actors get bolder, and the system completely corrodes within. But why the perception of impartiality is the job? Not part of it. It is absolutely all of it. So who replaces him, and what do they need to do? And what do they need to show up day one? You know, they have to be vetted. That is the most important thing. The White House now has this problem, and they have a playbook. So what are their next moves? First, they have to find someone who is absolutely boring. They need a clean record, no skeletons, digitally spotless. Step 2, pre-sell them to key GOP senators, no surprise this time. And step 3, they need to demand the proof kit upfront. Forensic sweep, metadata, all of it. Public, what should the Senate demand in return? Transparency, immediate and totally. Cross-party validators, not just party line cheerleaders. And a standard, if you can debunk an accusation in 48 hours, you're not ready for this job, because the Office of Special Counsel doesn't get mulligans. So what are they going to do now? Who knows? You know, these leaks can absolutely end careers, especially in credibility dependent roles. AI did it isn't a force field. It's a claim that requires evidence and credibility, beats partisanship where the job is protecting everyone. The next nominee will face tougher scrutiny, and that's probably a good thing. So, you guys, big question. I love your comments. Like, what do you guys think the answer is? I think that if you went through anybody's phone and you wanted to digest certain aspects, take out of context wording, I think that you could snitch on anybody and create an atmosphere where it looked like you are saying something that puts you in a bad character light. And I think that, again, they're getting snitched on. It's like, and it just seems to be this pattern. If you look, everyone that's getting snitched on, young, male, GOP, progressive, conservative, and they're, I would say, part of that woke right that are questioning things. And I think that the establishment is bringing these whistleblowers out to get those guys out of line, and they want their own people in that are going to stay with the course, the pro Israel, the pro everything that they want for my pro genocide, pro war, pro, they need to get in line. And those that aren't getting in line are going to be weeded out. And this is how they're choosing to weed them out. And like I said, I hate snitches. If you have a problem with someone says or somebody does, you you look them straight in the eye and you say, hey, I have a problem with what you wrote here. This is ridiculous. This is XYZ. I don't think you should be writing this. This is, or you shouldn't, if you really think these ways, you shouldn't be applying for this job at this office because this shit's gonna get out. Yeah, I think that, and that's the way I've always taught my kids is like I hate snitches. I've taught my children not to snitch. I don't believe in snitching. I believe in hitting it head on. If you have a problem with somebody or you have a problem with whatever they wrote, said to you, did to you, then you look them straight in the eye and you show your case, provide your case. And or if you feel like they've said something that you think that a superior should know, say, hey, we got this problem. I think you should go talk to them, because if you're not going to willing to go and try to fix this problem or change your course or apologize for what you said or whatever it is, then I got to go to the aboves, but I'm going to give you this opportunity to say, save your face. But to actually drop it on a media source like Politico, that's so backhanded, that's so it's just a shitty thing to happen to somebody, and I again, maybe his views shouldn't he probably wasn't appropriate for this job, but it 100% could have been handled in a different way. So, guys, let me know your thoughts. What should the vetting process be? Like I said, I think if you went through anybody's phone, took anything out of context, and dropped bits here and there, anybody could be feel guilty of anything. I think this was premeditated. I think this was done from within, and they do not like the way this new woke right is coming out. And I think it's just accumulating and accumulating as more is coming out about Israel. There's more things that the woke right is seeing right through the bullshit, and it's growing exponentially. The Nick Fuentes of the world are getting, they're going straight to the top in all the podcasts. Everybody's listening to him. And I know I have 3 boys under the age of 30 that are all voters, and they are listening to the Nick Fuentes. They're listening to the Andrew Tates of this world. It's just the way it is. That's who they're listening to. And they're listening to them for a reason. And this guy, like I said, they're trying to weed out these guys that could part in any which way, shape, or form start thinking like that or have that ability to move in that direction. I think they're weeding them out. So, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Please like, subscribe, share, hype. I really appreciate it. Send me some comments. I'm very interested in your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.